All right, Josh, there are a couple points to be made about this. First of all, wow, this is quite the bombshell allegation because it's not vague. She is naming names, saying that they tried to recruit her to undermine the president. I mean, what does that even mean?
Liz, before getting into this, I want to push back a little bit against something you said. This is actually not the deep state. This is the very, very shallow state. This is the White House chief of staff and the U.S. Secretary of State, for God's sake. These are not unelected 24, 25-year-old, Ivy League college grads working deep in the bowels of the NSA or CIA. This is the chief of staff to the president of the United States and the lead foreign diplomat for the most powerful country in the world. This is as shallow as the shallow state gets. But you know what? I'm assuming Nikki Haley is telling the truth. I have no reason to disbelieve her. So first of all, good for her for actually standing up for the president of the United States here. But let's break this down a little bit legally. The Constitution is extraordinarily clear on this. Article 2, Section 1 says the executive power shall be vested in a president of the United States. Not vested in the entire executive branch, vested in a president of the United States. So let's ask, what is the executive power? Well, we have great scholarship on this. There's a famous 2001 law review article by legal scholars Sai Prakash and Mike Ramsey that looks back and determines that the term executive power, as used by Locke, Montesquieu, and Blackstone, was a well-known legal turn of phrase that encompassed most of the foreign affairs power. So let's put two and two together. The foreign affairs power is expressly vested in the Constitution of the United States in a president of the United States. It is unconstitutional for subversive bureaucrats, no matter how high or how deep they are, to undermine the president. It is directly unconstitutional.
It is. I mean, and this is beyond concerning that people so high up in our government who are unelected, they're appointed and they're nominated and then they're confirmed. But it is beyond concerning that they would believe they had the right to undermine a president elected by the people to impose what they believe is best for foreign policy. If you believe what you think is best for foreign policy, you either A, take that to the president yourself and talk to him about it, or B, run for office yourself if you want your vision to be our foreign policy for our country. But to try to recruit others to undermine the president, I mean, the gall here is unbelievable. To be honest, I expect this more from Rex Tillerson. I was one of the first, perhaps the only, during his confirmation hearings to note that in answer to almost every question, Rex Tillerson gave an answer that was different than what President Trump had said was his foreign policy. Whether we're talking about Russia, whether we're talking about Iran, whether we're talking about the Paris Climate Accords, the foreign policy of Rex Tillerson was never in lockstep with the foreign policy of the President of the United States, Donald Trump. So that one surprises me less, but John Kelly, of all people, a military general, does he not understand the chain of command and how this works?